Ukraine's President Zelensky visited his forces now fighting a brutal, costly war in the east this weekend, sheltered in a building from the artillery shells that continue to rain down on their positions. This was his first visit to the Donbass since Russia refocused its offensive here. Ukraine's forces are outnumbered and outgunned. Russia's vast arsenal of artillery and rockets being used to try to pummel and break Ukraine's defenses. Both sides are taking heavy casualties. But for Ukraine, more help will soon be on its way. Today, Britain announced it will be sending this, its most advanced rocket launcher, following the lead of the US, which is supplying Ukraine with a similar system. The British Army's multiple launch rocket system can fire a dozen rockets in a minute and has a range of up to 50 miles, further than most of Russia's artillery.
A victory for the Prime Minister, but far from convincingly.
The vote in favour of having confidence in Boris Johnson as leader was 211 votes, and the vote against was 148 votes. And therefore, I can announce that the Parliamentary Party does have confidence.
A raucous reaction from Boris Johnson's supporters, but there's no disguising the enormity of the 148 MPs who voted against their own leader.
I think it's a convincing result, a decisive result, and what it means is that as a government we can move on and focus on the stuff that I think really matters.
Elon Musk is upping the pressure on Twitter after his lawyers filed a letter accusing the company of being in material breach of its deal obligations. Musk already said he's put the $44 billion bid to buy Twitter on hold, and now the Tesla CEO is threatening to walk away if he doesn't get the information he wants. The heart of the matter, how many spam and fake accounts operate on the social media platform. These accounts, known as bots, can be managed anonymously and mostly by artificial intelligence. They can interact with tweets, writing replies, and spreading misinformation. Twitter is aware of the problem, and in filings with the government, the company estimates that around 5% of its 229 million accounts are spam.
Now seems like the global cat and mouse game has finally come to an end. Gupta brothers Rajesh and Atul are currently behind bars in Dubai following news of their arrest last night. This comes after nearly 4 months since Interpol issued a red notice for them in connection with fraud and money laundering charges. If you recall, this is the same family that has been in the news for alleged corruption and their role in state capture, from allegedly influencing the hiring and firing of ministers, having a hold over other political and public figures, abusing state resources to claims they misplaced millions in public funding. The question now remains, will the Gupta brothers be brought to South Africa to account for their alleged wrongdoing?
Thousands of migrants set out from the city of Perpetual in the early hours of Monday. Many are mothers with young children who, despite the heavy rain, push to keep pace with the rest of the crowd. There's numerous nationalities among them, but the vast majority are from Venezuela. All want to reach the United States. It's the largest migrant caravan to set out from southern Mexico this year.
Tonight, new concerns over the monkeypox outbreak. CDC officials have traced 2 versions of monkeypox now circulating in the U.S.
While they're similar to each other, their genetic analysis shows that they're not linked to each other.
New data from the CDC shows New York with 7 cases, California with 6, and Florida with 4. 2 of the cases in the U.S. were found to be genetically similar to that of a Texas man who traveled to Africa last year. The other known cases resemble the genetic signature of the outbreak of cases found in Europe. Doctors explain that these are not variants in the way we think of mutating COVID-19 variants. Instead, these 2 monkeypox varieties are simply different members of the same family.
Unionized truckers in South Korea began their strike at the stroke of midnight on Tuesday, demanding a hike in freight fares. With diesel prices skyrocketing, truckers say that it's impossible to maintain a living. The truckers' main demand is for the government to extend the safe trucking freight rate system, which guarantees minimum freight rates. After a 3-year run, that system is due to expire on the last day of this year. But after failing to reach a mutual agreement with the government, the Cargo Truckers Solidarity announced it will go on strike until its demands are met. On 10 a.m. Tuesday, union members nationwide held the strike's official launch ceremony. The government estimates that more than a third of the Cargo Truckers Solidarity joined the movement on the first day.